Hello guys, how you going? Screezilla here, and I'm back on the open ocean. This time in the Nicholas class destroyer, the upgrade to the Clemson. The Clemson's class. The Nicholas is a bit of a false ship in World of Warships. It never really existed. It was a design based off of the. It was a designed sort of an upgrade of the Clemson class that never saw action, although there was a USS Nicholas, which was a Clemson, which sank off Honda Bay in I think 1919 or earlier. No, it was launched in 19. It was before the Second World War. It sunk off of Honda Bay during a big a typhoon or something. I'm having to remember history now. That's pretty hard. Anyway, the Nicholas is the upgrade of the Clemson. Very fun, very strong little destroyer. Got really good armament. Very good guns to it. Very good rate of fire as well. 15 rounds per minute with the 127 millimeter guns. You can just spam high explosives on stuff and cause fires and lots of trouble. Torpedoes not great. They're American torpedoes. 5.5 clicks. Okay speed. Do decent damage. The AA is pretty damn good on this ship, especially with the B upgrade. The B model, you get the armoured front turrets, but you get a lot of anti-aircraft guns. You get 14. You get 14 guns on the ship. So yeah, it's pretty damn good. This ship was designed as a destroyer leader, they called them. As I said, when it was being in concept, which means it was meant to be more like a cruiser than a destroyer. So that's why it's got such good firepower. And the armor the AP rounds are really good actually for this destroyer as well. It can give a poorly armored cruiser absolute pounding. And other destroyers, it's a destroyer hunter basically. Really good for hunting Japanese destroyers and even Russian destroyers. Now, this game is a pretty fun little game I had. So I was heading off to the islands around EF 7-8, because I know there's usually a couple of ships straggling through there, and I was hoping to get maybe 1 or 2 kills, try and lure some people out. Then I noticed their carriers were heading that way. Rubbed my hands with glee and tried my best not to get spotted, because either side of me is a shitload of guns. There's a lot of battleships and a lot of cruisers either side of me. I get detected. So, this stage I know that I'm going to get in trouble. Now luckily, their torpedoes are returning, so their torpedo planes are returning to the ship to rearm. So that is good news for me, but they do have a couple of bombers out. So I've got to be careful not to get struck by them, by the dive bombers. So first things first, I've got to try and set fire to this guy. Set off a few rounds. Luckily, first hit sets him on fire. Now, fire is really important for taking out carriers, because when they're on fire, their flight deck is inoperable. So they have to use their damage repair ability, and then they're screwed. Now, I can see where the other carrier is, because that group of fighters taking off. So I know they're close together now. So I fire off a couple of torpedoes, just pretty much in vain here, but trying my best to get a hit. Also just try and scare him off course. I know I'm not really going to hit much from there, because it's going to get out of the way. Torpedo planes have just taken off, so I know I'm in trouble for those, and a flight of dive bombers have taken off as well. This is where the AAA comes in for this little boat, because it causes a fair good spread of their bombs and their torpedoes. So you can see both of them now. So I start firing off some rounds, start to spin around, Now with this ship, you've got 2 sets of torpedoes either side. Put my smoke to keep me sort of protected from their battleship and cruiser up over on the other side. Now these guys have got no protection, and as you can see, my team have just noticed what up position I am in. Yeah, these guys are up shit creek without a paddle. Cool captains don't look at the explosion. So we have 2 carriers down. Try my best to dodge a torpedo. Just get out of the way. Shoot down an aircraft. And now's the time to get the hell out of there. So my team's taken a bit of a beating already. We've actually lost 1 carrier, but they've lost both of theirs, which is critical for the game. Carriers are a pain in the arse, especially for battleship captains. Now, I've pissed off this other team now. As you can see, they're all gunning for me now. I've just taken out 2 of their prime vehicles. I've got to get the hell out of Dodge. I've got a Japanese destroyer there, so I use my advantage of guns, fire off some torpedoes just really to make him dodge and keep him busy manoeuvring. I know I'm going to have torpedoes coming towards me any minute now too, so keeping an eye out for those. You can see me zooming in and out. Now, I'm all okay with that, so let's turn, try and get a few more shots off of this guy. Now, I could have probably stayed around and finished this guy off with my guns, but I didn't want to really risk being in this area too long. Also, I noticed that my other ships were in trouble down towards our base. We'd lost one of the cruisers. We only had a battleship and a destroyer down there. We've got 2 battleships down there, sorry, but they're getting really close to our carrier. So I need to really get the hell out of there, and I'm in a really bad spot at the moment too, because there are a lot of ships with a lot of guns pointing my way, firing a lot of heavy rounds my way too. Now, with the Nicholas, it's kind of like a cruiser, but it doesn't have the armour of a cruiser. Not saying that cruisers have good armour, because they don't, but armour that you do have is non-existent. Everything is going to penetrate you. Your best bet is for things to over-penetrate on you. So, I need to get out of there because those guys would just rip me apart. You can use your manoeuvrability, you can use everything to your advantage, but you aren't going to miss every shot. Especially when you've got a Kirov and a Fuso and a Hamato all gunning for you, and the chances are that New York and Fuso would have been able to hit me too. I didn't want to be sticking around that area too long. So, fire off a few shots at this guy now, the Kirov, because his guns aren't facing my way. Try and get a few shots, try and get him on fire, just generally be a nuisance. That superior rate of fire you can really see coming into action there. I've got 1 smoke left, I've used up my speed boosts. Now, I'm trying to get around to our cap, because I can see what's happening here. We're about to clinch victory, or clinch defeat from the jaws of victory. We're about to lose, because we've got hardly anyone down in our area defending against those ships. We've got a destroyer who's going the wrong way. We've got a battleship, and we've got a carrier. And that carrier's not looking in good health. That battleship's not looking in great health. Their Koenig's not looking in great health, but they've also got a couple of destroyers in the area too. So it's not good for our team. Also, you can see our cap is going down quickly. So I move around this corner here, Get ready. Pop a smoke. Luckily those torpedoes actually hit, and that battleship is done for, so that's good news.